Kill your skin.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Gaming with Grandma. Alright guys, so I wanted to talk about the Quest 2 and the Quest 3S. But I also want to mention the PSVR. Now, if you guys have a PSVR and you want to watch Netflix or Prime or HBO or Hulu or whatever, do it on the PSVR because I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, the Quest, movie section, you can get it this big or whatever. But on the PSVR, you can do Blu-ray. And I've watched Blu-ray on my PS4 with the VR headset, and it was fantastic. It was crisp. The colors were perfect. It was beautiful. But if you're using the Quest 2 for, the movies and all that, and you don't have a PS4, make sure that you have enough space because now the Quest 2 compared to the Quest 3S for the selection on the apps, I would suggest not to download them all on the Quest 3S because there's not a whole lot of space. And I mean, I have like maybe 4 games downloaded, and it's like super tight. Like it's insane. But the Quest 2, if you have a Quest 2, just stick with the Quest 2 because even though that the Quest 3 has mixed reality, new games coming out, the graphics are better. Oh, excuse me. Why every time I do a video, I end up getting bubbles? Good Lord, that scared me. Anywho, before I got scared, yes, I've been very jumpy lately because with this ghost the ghost investigations has gotten me a little jumpy. Me and my son were going home on, I know this is about VR, but me and my son were on our way back from Mary Knoll Cemetery, and we were talking about, what we experienced, all this other stuff. And there was a garbage truck, and literally I almost jumped out of my seat. Like, I wasn't even sitting down. We were walking. I grabbed my son's arm, and he's like, ow. And I'm like, I am so sorry. It scared the crap out of me. It did. It literally, this ghost investigation is kind of creeping me out. But anyways, if you have the money for a Quest 3S, I would say get a Quest 3. Just the effect of the Quest 3, if you look on eBay, they're a little cheaper now than what they were. They're close to about the same price as the Quest 3S. If you have a Quest and you're thinking of getting the Quest 3S, I would get the Quest 2, just to the effect of the battery lasts longer. There's a little bit more room on the Quest 2 than the Quest. Now, I gave my son the Quest because I already had the Quest 2. But I'm sticking with my Quest 2 because I absolutely love my Quest 2. Don't get me wrong, I love it. The thing about the rings, people were complaining about the rings. And the only reason why they're complaining is because they kept bumping the rings together. But when you're like holding a gun, and pointing it at like zombies or you're using an axe, it fits perfectly, in your hands. But with the Quest S, doesn't have that ring no more. So if you're trying to shoot, you literally have to have your hand on the side with the thumbstick right here. Because if you put it on top, you're going to either go forward or backward. And that was my mistake because I'm so used to doing this that every time I do, the thumbstick either goes forward or backward. So if you're doing it, make sure you do it where the thumbstick is over here and it's not on top. That's the only reason why I kind of like the rings. Another thing, the Quest S does not have it where you don't have to have the lights on. Because I had to have this light on, and I was in the headset and said need more light. So I had to turn the light on over there. Okay, sorry about that. I had to turn that light off because it was blinding me, so I had to put my other lights on. But anyway, I have a light over here and a light over there, and I had this light on, and it literally told me to turn on more lights in my room. So I turned that on. Once that one was on, it was all good. But I have to do the same thing with my Quest 2. Another thing they were saying, you can put your hands behind your back. You cannot. A lot of times, you could reach down, that's fine. But, on the Quest 2, I could do that already. So, I really think the pros are just the graphics, new games, and the mixed reality. That's basically it. Battery sucks. The storage sucks. So if you plan on getting one, get the bigger amount of space because, if you have a PS4 and a VR headset for that, you can watch tons of movies on that without having to, deal with storage or whatever. Yeah, I did the movie theater type thing for the Quest 2, and yeah, you can watch this big screen TV, but there's a lot of people just making noise, throwing popcorn, drawing, drinking the soda, which, why in the world would I want that when I could go on my PSVR and be able to pull it out, still watch the movie, and drink and eat, So, kind of scratch your head going, what? With the Oculus Quest 2 headset, if you want to get a drink or, you're eating popcorn or whatever, a lot of times you have to lift it up. Now, if you don't have the headband, then you got to literally kind of take it off. Now, the one thing I do like about the Quest 3S is it doesn't have a face sensor. So you can lift it up without it saying, where are you? Where'd you go? I don't like the face sensor because every time you went to do something, put it down to go to the bathroom, you literally came back and you'd have to turn it back on and do all this other stuff. And I didn't like that. I do not like the sensor, And on the Oculus Go, they didn't have the sensor. So I was really happy about that because if I have to go to the bathroom, but the Oculus Go, you can't buy any games. Now, I don't know about the Quest, but the Quest 2 I got for $178. And the Quest 3S I got for $278. So, and the only reason why I got it is because I had the money. If I didn't have the money, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would have to save till next Thanksgiving. Another reason why I got it is because of the mixed reality. I wanted to try it. Also, I could return the headset if I wanted to. Like if I told the guy, it doesn't work or blah, 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 I'd be able to get a refund, but it works fine. There's not a problem with it at all. Now, if you're wanting to get the Quest 3S and you have a Quest 2, you cannot put everything from the Quest 2 to the Quest 3. In other words, you'd have to get a new headset. You would have to, I always try to get a headset with a battery now because if you guys noticed last time I showed my video, I had the Quest 2 and I had to literally attach the battery that I had gotten for my Quest 3S. And then you guys know about the charging dock that I got the wrong one. Yeah, so, but yeah, and the space on the Quest 3 sucks really bad. Like, it is horrible. I'm able to have maybe 3 or 4 games downloaded. It doesn't hold a lot of storage at all. I was thinking, why in the world would they do that? Why don't they just do the cloud? I mean, the cloud is so popular right now. I don't know. It's kind of silly, to think, why don't they just have it in the cloud where you could just, grab it from the cloud? I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to sell it, get more storage. Buy more, whatever. But yeah, if you have a Quest and you want a Quest 3S, just go for the Quest 2. My honest opinion, it went from Oculus Go to Oculus Quest to Oculus Quest 2 to Oculus Quest 3, then Oculus Quest 3S, and now they're talking about a Quest 4. It's like, what is going on? And if you notice, people went frantically to get a Quest Pro, and that thing was like over $1,000, and now they're not selling anymore. So your best bet is to save your money and wait. Yeah, if you have the money like I did, go for it. It's a really good headset. But if you have a Quest 2 and you just don't have the money, save it. Put $20 in an envelope. Put it in your lockbox. Put it under your bed, wherever. And just put $20 a month or $20 of your allowance that you're getting. And save that money. That way, when Black Friday comes, you can say, Mom, can you take this and get me a Quest 3S? Or, Mom, can you take this money and buy me a Quest 3? Now, Quest 3 was cheaper than the headset I got, were the Quest 3S. I seen it for like $230, I think it was, on eBay. And, of course, I went for the Quest 3S, which I regretted. Yes, I did. I regret it. I regret getting the Quest 3S and should have got a Quest 3. But, it is what it is. But I'm not disappointed in my purchase at all. I love it. Now, last night I was trying to play a game on the PSVR, and literally, you can't have the camera lower. You would literally have to stand up and play it. Yeah, the control, unless you really, really have to go really far back to get it to work. But every time I was playing Moss, like, I would lean the controller forward and it would, like, not notice where it was. So I don't know if it's just me or, my camera or whatever. But every time I lowered the camera, the thing would come up out of area or whatever. So, but watching movies and that, playing certain games, is so much fun. Like, what is that little Astro guy? That was fun. I love that. That was fun. But I mean, I haven't played on my PS4 in like forever. So I was like looking at my PS4 last night and I'm just like, dude, I didn't even know I had all these games. Now there is one game I regret selling, and that was Robinson, The Journey, I think it was called. I absolutely love that game. The only thing is the pitons didn't work the greatest, and the only good thing on the PSVR is you don't have to have all the lights on to play. You can play in pitch black darkness, and the PSVR is like, I think it's like $70, $78. So if you have a PS4, get a PSVR. If you can't afford, the Quest 2 and you don't have a Quest 1, just get the PSVR. It's super cheap. It's like $60. And I'm not sure what it is for, for eBay. I mean, I would imagine it's lower than 60. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, it's grainy and you got these screens and blah, blah, blah. But if you haven't had a Quest and you don't know what the Quest is, get a PSVR. They're super cheap. I know a lot of these kids are like, Mom, I want a Quest 3. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. Well, Santa Claus will bring it to me. What? Are you sure about that? These parents would tell their kids, there is a Santa Claus. My oldest, he was 3, and we decided to prove to him that there was no Santa Claus. I mean, I know it was torture. It's very, very bad to do this to your kids. But I told my husband, I said, okay, so it's Christmas Eve. And my son kept asking me, is there really a Santa Claus? Is there really a Santa? Over and over and over. So I said, okay, so we're going to open all our presents tonight from mom and dad to you guys. And then tomorrow morning, if Santa Claus is true and you come downstairs and there's crap load of presents downstairs, mom and dad already gave you all our presents. That's it. That's all you get. And my youngest, at that time, he was the youngest. He's like, no, Santa will bring us tons of toys, And my daughter, she was kind of like, Mom, Santa's real, right? And I said, well, I guess you'll find out tomorrow. My son and my daughter came down so excited, thinking Santa brought them a whole crap load of gifts. They come downstairs and they had a wagon. And my 3-year-old went over and kicked it and said, that's not from Santa. I seen Dad working on it in the garage. And my daughter just looks at me and she says, there's really no Santa? I said, I tried telling you guys and you wouldn't believe me. Because, kids nowadays are like, oh, Santa's going to bring us 20 billion presents, And the kids get excited and it's just like, should I tell them? Or should I just say, yeah, Santa's real, It's like, when they get to a certain age, 8, 9, 10, they find out eventually. But then they're going to look to you and say, you're a liar. You lied to me, I never wanted to do that to my kids. When my youngest, when he would go and open Christmas presents, I'd be like, oh, what did Santa get you? And my oldest just looks at me and says, really, Mom? And I was like, what? And my oldest one said, Teach, there is no Santa Claus. These are for Mom. And he looks at my brother and he says, duh, I already knew this a long time ago. And his older brother said, wait, how did you know? And he says, I knew because I laid in the living room underneath the Christmas tree and he never came. I saw Mom and Aunt Gigi, well, that's what my grandbaby calls her, putting presents under the tree and they didn't know I was under there. And because he was so small, so tiny, he was up against the wall and kind of behind the Christmas tree. So when we were putting Christmas presents under the tree, we didn't see him at all. And he opened his eyes and he looked and it was me and my sister putting presents under the tree. And so my oldest son said, how'd you find out? And he said, because I was sleeping way behind the Christmas tree where Gigi said that you can't, Aunt, her name, I'm not going to say it, but yeah, she said that they wouldn't have the tree all the way back against the wall because the lights could catch on fire. So he said, so I crawled way, way in the back to hide from Santa. And Santa didn't see me. And he says, but I did see somebody else. And he's like, well, who'd you see? I said, Aunt so-and-so and Mom putting presents under the tree. And he says, is that how you figured it out? He said, yeah, I was 6. Duh. He looks at my youngest and he says, I didn't find out that Santa wasn't real until I was 3. And then he looks up at me, he says, because Mom lied to me. And he says, well, Mom did it because she wanted to see your face saying, oh, look, Santa came. Because kids get so excited when they find out Santa came. But a lot of these kids that don't get presents, they're thinking Santa comes and they come downstairs so excited, Santa came and bring me something and then they have nothing, And there are kids, the parents, they'll buy them a coloring book and some crayons. And a lot of these kids are super excited to get crayons and a coloring book. They don't normally get that kind of stuff. So, when you tell your kid for Christmas, oh, I'm getting you this and I'm getting you that. And then you tell them, oh, well, Mom and Dad don't have enough money. You'll have to wait till Santa comes. Bro, really? So, yeah. Um, my grandbaby, her husband now, and her mom staged Santa Claus in their living room taking a nap in a chair. So my grandbaby says, you know what? There was a Santa. He was sleeping in the chair. See, look. And I zoomed in and I said, who does that look like? And she's like, oh, no, it's Dad. Really? I said, the reason why is they want you to believe in the magic of Christmas. And she's like, but why would they lie like that? I said, because they like to see your face light up for Christmas. And she's like, is that why parents tell their kids about Santa? I said, basically, yeah. She's like, I said, don't ever tell your mom, Mom, Santa's not real. You're a liar. Because mom wants you to feel that joy of Christmas. I mean, if you tell your kids, by the way, when you wake up in the morning, mom and dad will have presents under the tree, and they're just like, oh, okay. But Santa Claus, he's magic, type thing. I don't know why I came into the Santa Claus thing. But yeah, I mean, if you want a Quest 2, or if you have a Quest and you want a Quest 2, it's like $150 on eBay right now. If you want a Quest 3S and you have the money, you could probably buy a Quest 3 cheaper on eBay. Excuse me. A lot of times, I go and I see these things and I buy them right away and I don't wait and I regret it because right after I bought it, I had an offer for a Quest 3. Yes, not a 3S. And it was cheaper than what I got for the Quest 3S. So I kind of just was like, seriously? Oh my gosh. And they had the box and the cords and everything. And I'm just like, why didn't I just wait? So I say wait till next Christmas. Save money. Because if you put, allowance money in an envelope and you hide it so your brothers and sisters can't find it, and then close to, November, say, hey, Mom, I wanna, give you this for Christmas. And you know what? If your kids ask for a Quest 3S, say, well, if you save your allowance all year, and when it's Thanksgiving, you can give me all that money and I'll go get you one. Because a lot of kids are so spoiled nowadays. Kid asks for, a PS5 with a PSVR 2, If I don't get it, I'm going to be really mad, Or they say, well, Santa Claus will bring it. It's like, oh my gosh. People are torturing themselves trying to get their Christmas presents to their kids for Christmas because they still believe in Santa Claus. If it wasn't for me showing my grandbaby that it was her dad dressed up as Santa Claus, she literally would have been very angry with her parents. So I told her, I said, if mom and dad believe in Santa Claus, let them believe in Santa Claus. Let them make you, wow, I can't wait, type thing. Go to bed early type thing, She asked me, why do they make you go to bed early? I said, because they want to be able to put presents under the tree. She looks at me, seriously? I said, yeah. She's like, wow. So, yeah, if you're thinking of telling your kids early on when, they're super tiny about Santa Claus, don't. Because it slaps you back in the face. It literally does. Because when your kids get old enough and they find out there's no Santa, they're going to be mad. They're going to call you a liar. So that means they're going to lie because you were lying, so why can't they? Just like if you slap your kid, they're going to grow up and be able to smack you because you taught them to hit. It's ridiculous how people make kids believe in Santa Claus, and a lot of times you see those Santa Claus in the mall and you just need to tell your kids, just go down and whisper in their ear, that's not Santa. That's a guy dressed up in a costume like Halloween, type thing. My parents, they wanted me to believe in Santa Claus because they wanted me to go to bed early so they could put presents under the tree. Eventually, when I got older, after my brother told me that Santa Claus crashed and Rudolph broke his nose, and Santa Claus was in the hospital and they pronounced him dead because he had no brain activity. I'm just like, why would you? He tore me inside, man. I was brokenhearted. I told mom and dad that Santa Claus died, and I told them the whole story. And my mom sat me down and she said, no, Santa died a long, long, long time ago. And I said, well, were you little when Santa died? She said, no, he died way before I was born. And I'm like, wow, you must be really old. Telling your parents they're old, I don't know if it's the best idea. But I've talked way too much. But yeah, if you have never had the Quest and you had an Oculus Go, just stick with your PSVR. But if you really, really want a Quest, Quest 2 would be a better option just because the Quest 1, you can't get certain games on it, like Green Hell. That's why I got a Quest 2, is because it had the games I wanted. So, yeah, I got my Quest 2 for $178, and then I got my Quest 3S for $278. Weird, right? I kind of wish I would have waited and just seen how these offers were coming through. I mean, I had several offers and I regretted it. I was like, no, come on, don't do this to me. And I should have waited, and I didn't. I rushed in and grabbed the first one that I could find that was cheap. And that's the thing, parents are, prone to getting what their kids want because they believe in Santa. And Santa can do anything. He's magical. Yeah. So be careful what you tell your kids, because if they believe in Santa Claus and they want a PS5 and it's like $500 and they want it so bad that they can taste it, and you don't get it for Christmas for them, and Santa didn't get them it either, they're going to be angry. They're going to be pissed. They're going to say, I told Santa what I wanted. He didn't get me what I wanted. And they're going to literally be pissed off, throw things, and run out of the room. Santa don't care. Santa, it's all a lie, and then they're going to blame you later on. So, once your kids get to a certain age, just tell them, there was a Santa Claus a long time ago, which was true. There was a guy named St. Nicholas, and he worked with wood, and he would put presents, wood sculptures on these kids' doors because they were poor. I mean, they didn't have a toy store back then. And these kids just lit up, and he thought, wow, I can just keep doing this. And then when he died, it stopped. So, none of the kids were like, it's Santa Claus, It wasn't anything like that. It was more like a mystery guy dropping presents off on Christmas Eve, It was more of a, not Santa Claus with reindeer and can fly, and I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, comment below, subscribe to my channel, guys. And I will see you guys next time. This is Grandma signing out. Adios, amigos. Doses. I'm out. Thanks for watching Gaming with Grandma.